You drawn some Soma there?
Mm-hmm. How to draw Soma's hair from different directions.
She has kind of weird hair, does like asymmetrical hair, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's always been weird.
So I'm working on the Little Guardians tabletop game, you know?
Yo, did we talk about it last time on stream?
I think we mentioned it.
There's going to be a game. Big news, y'all.
Yep. Fun little tabletop game for adults and kids to play. Anyway, I need monster names. So if you recall in chapter 5, the snake one,
the big snake,
the big snake
that young Tane is fighting.
Yes. Do you have a name for that? In my mock-up, I called it Cobra Lord.
Cobra Lord. I like that.
Which is kind of awful, but kind of awesome.
Kind of reminds me of Commander.
Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander, yeah.
A little bit, but you know. I don't know if you had any.
Cobra. I don't think you can do better than Cobra Lord.
You think Cobra Lord's pretty?
I think it's pretty solid.
We'll go with Cobra Lord. Because it's a cobra, right?
Yes.
The type of snake you chose.
I mean, if you wanted a scientific name, I would call it Serpentis regalis or something.
Oh,
like regal.
That's kind of cool.
Kind of pseudo-Latin with, basically the same thing. King, like a king of snakes, basically.
And then the other one was because all the ones from the Monster Journal are named, but those were not. What was the like the iguana monkey, lizard monkey?
That one's gonna be weird. We gotta come up with a name for that.
So the name I have bookmarked is Iguana Kong. Because he looks kind of like a King Kong, but he's also kind of a iguana.
Yeah.
But I'm not sold on that name, so.
I think you're batting 1,000.
You think
I really would
Kong?
use Iguana Kong. You know, King Kong's not really in our fantasy world. Like,
right.
We're just casual enough with the rules that I really don't think it's a problem.
Okay, we'll go with Iguana Kong. And then, was there another one in there? Oh, he fights a...
Done is beautiful, as they say in graphic design.
Done. And I did find the old black and white versions of everything. I found that on an old hard drive.
Oh, for the card art?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
What else? He fights another, like a troll or like an orc.
Yeah.
Let me see what he fights. And then, it's actually Item that fights the Iguana Kong, which Ollie takes care of. Yeah, there's like a big wasp, the cobra, and then there's like a orc goblin kind of a thing. He's got like a...
Oh, yeah, the goblin.
He's got like a... What do you call that? A club with spikes? Spiky clubs? I don't know if we have a name for this guy. He's next on my list.
The goblin?
Well, I already have goblins because I created Goblin Thieves.
Yeah, I thought it was Goblin Thief. I was just about to say.
But I think he's different, though, than a Goblin Thief. He's bigger and he looks different to me. So I'd rather call him something else.
Goblin Lord.
Goblin Lord.
Everything's a lord.
Everything's a lord. Mayhem Mistress says, Kinguana is pretty good. I like that. I might have to steal that. Portmanteaus with your monster. Yeah. I actually think Kinguana is better than Iguana Kong. I think we're going to go.
I'm down.
I'm down. Let's do it. Although, is that already a thing? Let's Google it. That seems too good that...
Kinguana?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't see... I see there's someone on Instagram.
You can have monsters named similarly.
Kinguana, like Juan.
No. It's fine. It's not like a band name where we have to worry about confusion
Right.
with other bands. We can call our monster whatever we want. Shout out to Mayhem Mistress.
Yeah, for reals. We got a new game that Nina got for her birthday called Cat Crimes.
Cat Crimes?
Yeah, it's cute. It's like a
Sounds adorable.
true crime game where you have to figure out which cat done it. And there's like
Who knocked my stuff off my dresser?
it's actually like who killed the goldfish.
Whoa.
And, like, but it's like cute cartoony characters.
Yeah. Kid appropriate.
And it's cooperative, so you get clues, and you have to figure out which of the 6 cats in the room did it. But it's pretty fun. It's cute.
Is it like all cards? Is it card
It
based?
is like yeah. So there's like a map of just one room, and there's like a table, and there's 6 cats, and they sit at the table, and on the table are like things like a toy or a ball of yarn or cat scratches, and then there's a card that you read that has clues on it, and it'll say like Mr. Pickles was by the mouse, and then it'll say Fuzzy Cat was next to Mr. Pickles, and then another clue will be Mr. Mittens was not next to so and so. So you kind of have to piece it together based upon.
Oh, it's logic puzzle stuff.
Yeah, it's like logic puzzle stuff. So
cool.
And then you flip it over to see if you were right. So it's fun to play with, kids.
That sounds nice. Where'd you get it?
It was a gift, so I don't know. We got it from her cousins.
Oh, okay.
Bought it.
Did they buy it because they like playing it, or they just thought y'all would like it?
I don't think they had ever played it before. I think Nina's getting a reputation as a cat person.
Ah.
Ooh, Goblord is good.
Goblord?
Mayhem Mistress is good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Goblord. That's pretty good. Mayhem Mistress is much better at this than I am.
Goblord reminds me of the ways they named all the goblins in that time I died and was reincarnated as a slime. Which is an anime. And the main character kind of becomes the ruler of a tribe of goblins, and he names them all, which in that world is like leveling them up. It's like bestowing on them a name, and they kind of get enhanced and more powerful because of it. But he has to think of names for like 50 goblins, so he's just like Gobta, Gobto, Gobbo, Gobster. Like, they're just like a bunch of gob stuff. Goblord would have fit right in.
Goblord, yeah.
Gobata. Yeah, I'm back to drawing people. Done with word balloons for now. You kind of need the word balloons, and then you want to turn them off. But like, you need them at first because it shows you how much like room you need to. Like, you both need to do the art that gets covered up, but also make room for the word balloons so nothing important gets covered up.
Oh, I agree. It gives you space. Like, spatially, you understand what's going to go where, and
Yep.
yeah, because cramped panels with tons of words or stinks, and then
Yeah, my least favorite thing in comics is a sea of text and like a tiny bit of art crammed in there, or like after you've already drawn something you're like, wow, that took me forever and I'm really proud of this drawing, and then it just gets covered up by word balloons. Oh, so I just recently learned the terms for these little shapes in the ear.
Oh, what is it called?
This top one is like called the captcha Simba. Captcha or catches? The Simba and the Cavum are these two little shapes. Now I'm gonna Google. But like, I was watching a YouTube video about some recent developments in the mystery of the Somerton Man. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Mm-mm.
He was a man that was discovered dead on a beach in Australia, but like it took them 70 years to solve his identity.
Oh wow.
Which was like a real life spy thriller mystery, and they did so by like specific anatomical features on him. Like he's missing his lateral incisors, like he just was born without them. He also, his Simba and cavum shapes in his ears, like most people it's small and then big, like the lower one's the bigger one, and on him it was flipped, which is a very rare genetic abnormality. And they use those things to like point towards people that might be living relatives, and you know, with some DNA tests from hair follicles from a plaster cast, they're pretty sure they've been able to track down who he was. But so I learned what those ear shapes are called.
Yeah, I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I noticed in the art they have really pronounced whatever you're talking about.
Concha Simba and Concha Cavum.
Yeah, like all the characters have these really pronounced ears that I find a little distracting when I play the game.
Which game?
It's Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Oh, Fire Emblem.
The one
yeah.
The relatively new one for Switch.
But those are the ones that the characters are like. There's a couple Fire Emblem characters in Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
That's where Roy and Martha are from. But I'm sure it's a newer version of the game and has newer characters.
It does have different characters.
I think Fire Emblem's famous for having like a shit ton of characters.
It has quite a few characters. But yeah, if you look up screenshots, like here, I'll show this one to you. Like you can really see this guy's ear. Like that's from the game. Look at that.
It is drawn.
Isn't that really pronounced?
I don't know if it's pronounced so much as it is not. It's not simplified. Like you could just draw like a swoop and a little curve, and it's like implies an ear. But they just went ahead and it's kind of like how I draw ears. Like I actually draw the cavum and the Simba. In cartoons, you really don't need to. Like they can be simplified down to just a swoop and a little flippy thingy. You know, a swoop and a flippy. Standard anatomy terms.
There's a basketball player that has, I think what you're talking about with the
cavum and the Simba flipped.
I'm trying to think of his name though. It's like Boban.
Is he known for his weird ears?
No, but I've noticed it.
I love that you, the basketball fan, who would be like, "Oh, this is a good basketball." Like you would actually follow the game and care about the outcome of the game.
I've googled a picture of him.
Oh, yeah, his ears are distinct. I will say.
He's also like 7'5" or something. That's also pretty distinctive about him.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Boban Marjanovic. Height. Let's see, how tall is Boban? 7'4".
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty tall.
That reminds me of the story of Robert Wadlow, the tallest human ever to live.
How tall was he?
Like 8 foot something.
Holy cow.
His genetic abnormality meant he just never stopped growing. I mean, he died when he was 22.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Due to complications from his extreme size. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Pupils and eyebrows on different layers.
Why do you do that?
So you can reposition them easier without redrawing everything.
That's smart.
So you can go...
And then, like, delete.
Yeah.
Ooh, fun. Was it Robert Wadlow? Is that who you were talking about?
Yeah, Wadlow. You looking up a picture?
I'm a little curious. Alton, Illinois. Born 1918. He was on the Ringling Brothers Circus.
As most people with genetic abnormalities found work. Being employed there.
He was a Freemason.
Really?
Apparently.
There's a lot of stuff about Robert I didn't know.
Tallest person ever. 8'11".
Holy cow, almost 9 feet. I gotta turn off.
Well, actually, this says he died of an infection.
Yeah, in his ankle from his. He used to wear leg braces to help him walk. He didn't want a cane or a walker or a wheelchair.
His coffin was 10 feet 9 inches. It's a big coffin. 12 pallbearers and 8 assistants. The assistants just said that way, a little to your left. Fascinating. Yeah, he just kept growing even at 22 years of age. He doesn't.
Like there was no like puberty that
Yeah,
then stopped.
I mean, I stopped growing since I was like 13. Well, yeah, this says age 21 he was 8'8", and then age 22 he was 8'11", age 20 8'7", age 19 8'6". Yeah, that is. I mean, it is kind of scary to think about like your DNA and your genetics are just like variables, and for whatever reason it didn't
There we go.
tell him. What would the Little Guardians theme song sound like? That's a great question.
Ooh, okay. So we obviously I'm not going to sing on stream.
No, but we can say what genre of music. Like, is it
What
a punk
genre?
rock song? Is it a?
it would be. I don't want to go as corny as like the Gummy Bears theme, but like in that genre, it would be more like kid friendly, you know. Guardians.
Oh, he is singing.
Oh,
it's happening.
They are really little guardians.
I think it should be punk rock, but that's just me.
Okay.
I'm just joking. Death metal.
No.
You know, this is gonna sound weird, but I don't know what the Gummy Bears theme sounds like.
I just sang it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You were singing the melody to it, but with Little Guardian.
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. You don't remember Gummy Bears?
Ska would be interesting. That's one of the suggestions. Pick it up, pick it up. Oi, oi, oi.
Was that a No Doubt song?
Maybe.
I think it was. I just started singing a No Doubt song. No, it was Save Ferris. It was a Save Ferris song. We had themed costume days at work this week, and today was 90s day.
Oh.
Specifically 1997, because that was the year my company was founded. So everyone was wearing throwback clothing and sharing songs like 90s music in the company group chat. And I shared a YouTube video I found of a recording of a No Doubt concert from 1997. It was pretty
Ooh,
great.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, live Gwen Stefani was pretty awesome and inspiring.
That would have been the height of, like, Tragic Kingdom probably just
Yep.
dropped, right?
It was live from the Tragic Kingdom.
There you go. A little Don't Speak and Spider Webs and
All that stuff. And also because I mostly just know their hits, there was a lot of music I hadn't heard or just hadn't heard in a long time.
you know how people yell oi 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 at punk and ska shows?
Yeah.
You know that's a thing?
Yes.
You know in Korean, oi is cucumber. So the first time I went to a ska show, I thought people were yelling cucumber, cucumber, cucumber.
This is
really
a true
quickly.
story?
This is true. Oi is cucumber. Also, the word emo in Korean is ant. Like my aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
So growing up, I called
Not like the insect.
Yeah, so when people were talking about emo music, I was like, you mean ant music?
my aunt. You're talking about my in-laws?
Yeah. Well, no, this would be my actual aunt.
Yeah, actual aunt. Did you have an aunt? Did your mom have a sister?
Mm-hmm.
I had several.
Yep. I had an emo. We called her emo. But I don't think ska would really
Fit the theme song?
It's not really. I don't know.
Okay, maybe not. It's funny for the stream, though,
Yes.
to imagine a ska Little Guardians theme. The Save Ferris, the specific Save Ferris song I was thinking of is, I think it's called "When the World Is New," or just "The World Is New." I think. So if anyone wants a live soundtrack to the live stream, that's what I would. Ooh, I know. I'm going to have her scratching the panther's head. That's an easier thing to draw.
There you go.
Completely changing the action. I love drawing hands from this angle because fingers just become little rectangles. I am cheating at drawing.
I mean, it would make sense for her hand to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Question: how do you guys work? Are you drawing from a detailed script or pacing as you like? We have a detailed, relatively detailed script that is done with dialogue and action, and then Lee kind of blocks it. Well, I guess we get together prior to the live streaming and figure out what the pages are going to look like. And you do some sketches, which you're kind of drawing over, as you can see. But the scripts in general aren't as detailed as some comic book scripts. I don't write scripts where it's like, page 7, panel 1 is this, panel 2 is that, panel, It's more just, this is what happens, and then I have a general sense of how many pages it's going to be, but it has some variability, which I think is fun. Because then, that way Lee gets to draw what he wants to draw.
Mm-hmm.
When he wants to draw it, and how he wants to draw it.
Our scripts leave some details open for interpretation. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, depends on your point of view, we did the planning for the next several pages off camera. We got together earlier and just didn't record it.
So now I'm a little concerned that Goblord is too similar to Cobra Lord. Is it okay to have two lords?
I think so. It's probably fine.
Did you dress up for Halloween?
I did not, actually. Some years I just have no time or money to invest in a new costume.
Yeah.
And there are certain, like, cheat costumes that I have that now that I've worn, like, 4 or 5 years in a row, I'm just tired of them. Like a particularly cool hoodie that I can coordinate the rest of my outfit with, and then it's like a costume.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Nancy was an eggplant because she had a purplish hoodie.
Yep.
And she had some leaves from, I don't know what, maybe a fake plant that she put on her hoodie. And she found a barcode online from like a grocery thing. And
the barcode's a nice touch.
Printed it.
That's what really finishes it,
yeah,
I think.
And slapped it on her hoodie, and she was an organic eggplant with a barcode. Pretty genius.
Yeah, I saw the photo on Instagram. It was not Instagram, Facebook. It was very cute. Cute outfit. It reminds me of those homegrown stickers that we used to stick on ourselves in high school. And there were organic ones as well. I think Goblord is really cool. Maybe we change the snake instead.
I was just thinking that.
Like, I want to keep Goblord.
How about Cobrax?
Cobrax is cool.
Or what was the other thing you had said? With like Serpentinicus or something?
Oh, it was like Serpentis regalis.
Serpentis regalis. Is that an actual thing, or did you make that up?
I made that up.
Oh, let's call it that.
No.
Why?
Because, like, none of the other monsters have a pseudo-Latin name. It's, like, such a weird... Like, they all have,
It's
like...
two out there.
Yeah.
The other ones are called...
Like, Scissorfish, Forearm
Troll.
Tornado Hand.
The Elvidae has a weird name. I don't know where I came
Elvidae?
Elvidae.
And the Pixie Rosa.
Pixie Rosa, yeah.
I know where that one came from. Starting to get Sonic the Hedgehog hair.
A little bit.
I'm wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog t-shirt right now.
Are you really? I'm wearing a Tick t-shirt.
Nice. We're both kind of 90s. Sonic.
Oh, that's a rad shirt.
Thank you.
Oh, that's your made in the was that your 90s reference? The nice.
Yeah.
No one could say it's not 90s. It literally says 90s on it.
Yeah, but like it's also a lie. Like maybe it's referring to Sonic being made in the 90s, but usually when I wear it, people are like, "You weren't made in the 90s." I'm like, "Or was I?"
I'm texting Damien. He said he's busy tonight, but
about joining the stream.
Yeah.
Dang it.
He said he saw Black Adam.
Oh,
Asked him
yeah.
how it was.
That's the one with The Rock, right?
Yeah, he says it was kind of like every superhero movie that came out like 10 years ago, but The Rock was in it and Pierce Brosnan occasionally. I'm asking him if I should go see it. Nina really wants to go see it, which is strange to me, but
Really?
she just thinks The Rock is funny.
Okay, she likes The Rock. That's a good enough reason.
He's a box office draw.
Yeah, he is. But it's funny, I didn't know Nina cared about the MCU.
Well, that's DC.
Oh, it's
but,
DC.
yeah.
Oh.
Faux pas.
Oof. My comic cred just went out the window.
Eee. Let's just cut the stream there.
I've never...
Cuts.
Off air.
No.
There's like one of those like technical difficulties cards
Right.
with like a puppy holding the power cable
That's
in its
right.
mouth.
But like lounge music playing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like or big band music. Or ska music.
I really didn't read DC comics growing up and had no idea who Black Adam was.
I honestly have no idea who he is either. I don't really follow it that closely.
See, and you actually read DC, like you liked Batman.
Yeah, I was a big Batman. I mean, that was the first comic I really got into. And I read a little bit of Superman back in the 90s.
I gotta remember to give Soma some actual arm muscle definition because
She's tough.
she's an archer. She got the guns. Sun's out, guns out.
You know, I never really understood why biceps were called guns. I mean,
These guns?
I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand, but they're not. They're not projectiles. I think it's strange.
Well, they can deal out some shots.
Is that why?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's.
Why do they call arms guns?
I think it's strange. I wonder if people will pronounce Goblord as Goblord,
Goblord.
which is actually kind of awesome. So, yeah. All right, Damien got back to me. Let's see what he said. He says, "Meh." That is not very ringing endorsement. He says it's right on the line whether it's better or worse than Sonic. It is completely constructed intellectual property. Sonic
I forgot
is
that y'all use Sonic the Hedgehog movies as a unit of goodness.
Yes, it is Sonic the Hedgehog motion picture from a few years ago is the bare minimum of movie I would want to see. If it's less good than Sonic, I do not want to see it. It needs to be better than Sonic the Hedgehog, which I actually enjoy for what it was. But if you're going to recommend something to me, it needs to jump that hurdle of being better than Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I read something today that, the original Super Mario Brothers from like the 80s?
Yeah.
You know how you play it and you go through the worlds and you go to world like 5-1 and 6-3?
That sounds more like Super Mario Bros. 3, but yeah, go ahead.
Super Mario had 5 or 6 worlds, I believe. But anyway, or like the original. When you die, you start back at 1, you know? I just read that they discovered that if you like hold down A and start, it'll take you back to the world.
Like you just start over at the beginning
of the beginning of the world that you died in. So if you died on 3-5, it'll take you to 3-1.
This is new information?
This is new information. No one had discovered that this was in the code for 40 years. And and the makers of Mario like
never
revealed
told
it.
anyone.
They had to tell people. We're like, oh, by the way, here's a hack that no one ever figured out. There is a save function.
Oh my god. This is a huge scandal.
Right? Like, we've all been playing it wrong. It's a big deal.
That is a huge deal. So many people were frustrated.
Through controllers, broke controllers, because they died on World 3-5 and then had to go back to 1-1. But no, you could have returned to 3-1.
I love that OG video game designers could just call basic instructions a hack,
right,
and not tell anyone.
Yeah.
Like, should we give them an instruction booklet? Nah.
Did games back then even have booklets? Well, I guess they did, yeah.
Pretty sure the original Mario Brothers came with a booklet.
I remember being really pumped about those booklets growing up. Like,
weren't they cool?
Yeah, like Strider for Genesis.
With tiny, like, 72 DPI screenshots.
Oh, they were awesome. I remember poring over them.
In a similar manner, I got excited over the strategy guides.
Yes. Before the internet.
Before the internet, they had to print that stuff in books. We're so old. Of course, also, I'm not just like I wasn't a DC fan, I wasn't a Nintendo. I had the NES, but I was really a Sega fan.
You had the original NES?
I had the original NES, but I didn't have anything after that until GameCube. No, and N64. I take it back. But I skipped the Super Nintendo. I just never had one.
Super Nintendo was solid, but
It
I was
was.
I was a Genesis guy myself. But if I had,
That's right, because you gave me your old Phantasy Star cartridge.
oh yeah, those are good games. Phantasy Star 4. I'm gonna spell Goblord with a capital L to really show that Lord is a different word than Gob,
Okay.
to avoid the Goblord.
Goblord.
And the description shall be Lord of the Goblins. Did you know the original name for the Eggo was Froffle?
That is a lie.
No. They took it was a portmanteau of frozen waffles called Froffles. And people started calling them Eggos because they were eggy. So they changed the name. I'm not making this up. I watched the documentary about food. Froffles.
Wow.
So while you may call them Eggos, I'm old school and call them Froffles.
I did remember reading a very interesting history of the Triscuit.
The Triscuit?
Yeah.
Is Triscuit short for something?
I think it's
It should be.
electric biscuit.
Triscuit. Oh.
Because
I would not have
part of
guessed
their like, I don't know, they had like electric ovens where they baked them or something, and electricity was really cool at the time.
That's amazing.
Pretty sure it stands for electric biscuit.
I think Electric Biscuit is a good name for a band.
It is a really good name for a band. I love that.
Electric Biscuit. It sounds very naughty for some reason. I don't know why. Electric Biscuit.
You're an electric biscuit.
Oh, that's so good. Let's see. This says the Shredded Wheat Company began producing Triscuit in 1903. Wow, that's a long time. The name Triscuit is believed by some to have come from a combination of the words electricity and biscuit.
There you go. I was right. Believed by some.
Believed by
But
some.
not confirmed by the company.
Oh, it is actually short for electricity biscuit.
Electricity, not just electric.
Yeah.
Electricity biscuit. And then that one is confirmed?
Allegedly, this is from, let's see, in the early 1900s, Triscuit, blah, blah, blah. Being baked by electricity, they were the only food on the market prepared by this 1903 process. Look at the lightning most, and then it clicked. Electricity. Try. In electricity. The Try biscuit, or the Triscuit, is, according to this. According to Twitter. And then the official Triscuit Twitter account confirmed that this is true.
Froffles.
Froffles.
He sounds like a pope.
Pope
Pope
Froffles.
Froffles the First.
Pope Francis.
I think I'm thinking of Raffles.
Is there a Pope Raffles?
I think or like
I'm not my
which actually is from an anime.
oh
It's not a
my
pope,
my Pope game
but
is
he was a
lacking.
religious figure
My-
in
Trigun?
Fire Force. What's it called? It's the one where they fight fires and demons.
That one I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Fire Force. There's a figure in their mythology called Raffles. And I thought that was a funny name, but also like fit. Like it kind of, I could see a Pope Raffles the 8th. If you can't tell, I watch a lot of anime.
Yeah, I started watching. It's on Netflix. They're based on video games that I've never played, but I've started watching the Cyberpunk
Yeah,
anime. is
Edge
pretty
Runners.
good. Yes, Edge Runners, and what's it called? Arcane,
Yeah, Arcane's based on League of Legends.
Yeah, which I've never played.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of those, but
They're pretty good.
I really want to watch Edge Runners. Like, it looks amazing.
It looks cool.
I do not care about Arcane.
Arcane is actually pretty good. I think you might like it. I mean, I don't know anything about the game, so it's just its own little
League
story.
of Legends is one of those fighter games, you know.
But it's its own story. It has not. It's not. From what I can tell.
I mean, it's characters from the game, I'm sure.
I don't know about that. I have a feeling it's from the world.
No,
Those
sure
are
they're game
specific characters. Okay,
Yeah.
I also don't know. And I don't really care because I'm not gonna play the game. But the animation is beautiful in it.
Mm-hmm.
And in Edge Runners, I'm pretty sure, though I've not looked it
No
up.
spoilers.
The voice actor for Jet from Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, he's in a lot of things.
Yeah, he's one of the characters, and just hearing his voice it made me happy. Did you start Sandman season 3 or whatever?
I did not yet, but I'm going to on my trip this weekend.
Cool. It's good.
I save my audiobook credits for when I need something to listen to while I drive.
You'll probably finish it faster than me, but I've been listening to it. It's good. Well, I believe Sandman season 2 was confirmed today.
Yay!
It's been hinted at, but I believe Neil Gaiman tweeted that it's been confirmed.
The world needs more Neil Gaiman.
It does. Have you watched the show?
I have
Yeah?
not.
Okay.
But I believe that just listening to the Acts 1 and 2 Audible full cast versions have, I believe I know all the story.
Oh, I mean, the show only covers the first part of,
Yeah.
If you watch the show, you will know what they're referencing.
But you said the recordings are like a pretty faithful adaptation. Right?
Very much so.
Yeah.
I don't think you're missing anything,
Okay, cool.
in my opinion.
That's what I figured.
I mean, the
I
books are
prefer
fantastic.
the audio, really.
I think the audio is fantastic. I actually, in some regards, the audio is better. Now, the books are amazing too, but the audio is really good. Because the books are there's so many different artists. It's actually a little disorienting.
It wasn't just the same guy?
No, each story arc has its own artist.
Oh, wow.
Whether it's like a 5 or 6 issue story or a one shot, it's just it's always a different artist. So there's a lot of different, and a lot of the one shots.
Oh, so some artists got to do more than others?
Yes. So some artists did a full season of Mists kind of a thing, and then some just did Mike Allred did the one. I'm pretty sure it's in the second one. The guy that is the president of the United States.
Oh, the fake president?
The fake president. Yeah, Mike Allred drew that issue.
And that's just a one shot.
That's just a one shot. So while they're all awesome, it is a little
disorienting.
Yeah, I was gonna say the audio, because it's so consistent with the voice actors and Neil Gaiman is the narrator. It has more consistency to it, which I like. So it feels more cohesive, while the comic can feel a little disjointed because while some artists are better than others or have different interpretations of Dream.
Yeah.
And what the characters look like, it feels a little disjointed sometimes. But both are awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I really, really like the audio. And I just have more time in my life for audio. Because I work a lot, I draw a lot. I'm always doing things that...
You can hear, you can listen to something.
Yeah, I can listen to things while I work, so I have a lot more time for listening. If I wanted to watch the show, I'd have to, devote several evenings to it, and I just don't have that time. I do watch a lot of anime, though. So I'd have to watch less anime if I wanted to watch more other TV. That ain't happening. Sorry.
You have
Priorities.
boundaries. I understand. Priorities. Important.
I like audiobooks audiobooks and podcasts because I can listen while on my commute. I can listen while I work.
So do you mostly watch Crunchyroll?
Yeah, I watch on Crunchyroll. I have a Crunchyroll subscription. Gives me all my anime.
Man, your line work is so clean, man. Looks
Thank you.
good.
I try my best.
I love her stark black hair. It really
Yeah,
pops.
we do need, and So I keep forgetting I need to do that to Soma's shirt as well. But
Well, when it gets colored.
the roots of the comic are in the black and white, man.
Right.
It used to be a black and white comic.
No, it's been fun going through the black and whites because you can kind of see. I mean, you really developed your own palette with the grays and the backgrounds being,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Lineless silhouette.
yeah, it's really has its own language that it's, different in color.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Thank you. The only thing with the solid black fills is like the interior lines that I just did to give the hair definition are now invisible.
Yeah.
There are other things that you can do, but
You can make them white, can't you?
that or give her some highlights in the hair,
Right, that's what
which
I
I
mean.
just don't do that much.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to split the difference on the Cobra and call it Cobrax Regalis.
Oh, that's cool. I'm in.
All right.
That works great.
Regalis is Regalis?
Yeah,
Okay. That's what I thought, but just
like regal.
regal. Yeah, with Cobrax, it sounds less Latin-y,
Yeah.
but I like the Regalis. That's cool.
Any other monsters you're trying to name?
Let me see what else we got. Let me finish the name on this. I mean, there's the Spirit Dragon, but that just kind of has its own name. I'm kind of running out of monsters because I did most of the ones in the
You make
Monster
some-
Journal.
Make some game-only monsters.
Yeah, well, there was some never drawn
Monster ideas.
monster ideas from the journal, like the Skeleton Warrior and those kind of things.
Yeah, you can put skeletons in the game, even though they haven't been in Little Guardians
Right.
yet.
Well, I would need you to draw, but
Sure.
there's small little icons you can do.
Anything that needs new art is last priority, obviously.
Right.
We'll just. That's why you were sticking with everything that we'd already made, because the
I have
art
the
already existed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've been thumbing through everything to try to find these creatures that are already drawn because I have a still image of them. I early voted today.
Nice.
Just got
Did you
it
get an
done.
absentee ballot?
No, I went to a place. They had early voting.
Oh, cool.
It was surprisingly busy because it's a midterm. But it was funny. I was outside in line, and they have people with the signs, who are like,
Yeah.
and
The last minute campaigning.
yeah, someone was talking to someone else in line about someone from like a school board and how they're. So there was like two. There was one on the left, one on the right, for obviously competing school board seats.
Candidates.
Yeah, candidates. And one was saying how theirs is endorsed by the police department, teachers, and fire. And the competing campaigner said, fire can't endorse anything. Which I thought was funny. Because it's this idea that fire in and of itself cannot endorse something, which is true.
Like firefighters union, maybe.
Maybe a firefighter, which is strange that they would endorse a school board member, but fire in and of itself cannot endorse a candidate.
Yeah, that's
I thought
funny.
that was pretty snarky and kind of hilarious.
I didn't notice them that much, like over the years of voting, but it seems like they campaign a lot, like to people going to vote, like right at the voting sites.
They're not supposed to.
They do it more these days. though.
I think everything has become more polarized, but they actually got reprimanded. Like someone from the polling station walked by and kind of said, you need to step back because there's laws on how close you can be with your signs. And I don't think you're really supposed to engage people. I think talking to the people in line is actually, I don't know if that's allowed or they have to be a certain amount of feet from the building, but they kind of got their hands slapped by so-and-so.
by the people there
Yeah.
running it. I just don't remember it being a thing as much before. But now they're like very active.
Well, again, I think everything is just more polarizing and people are more adamant. And also, we are older and have voted more.
Yep.
It's like I didn't notice this when I was 12 because we weren't voting.
Well, yeah, but I also didn't notice it when I was like 20.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember, I guess I'm a little bit older than you, but I certainly remember a lot of like, Bush stuff. And I mean, politics has always been polarizing.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway.
You're not wrong.
Well, there's actually a big. I don't want to get too political, but
Okay.
there is a big school board thing right now all across the country because there's a big push by the conservative side to get rid of things that don't make you feel good in school. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they are
I
like
know all about all
pushing
that.
people into office to push that agenda, and
Yeah,
it's very well
so
hidden.
that they can choose not to teach certain uncomfortable subjects.
Yes, because it makes people quote unquote uncomfortable.
And
so
it makes them look bad because of all the horrible things they actually did.
So I had to research the school board a little bit on,
Who
And they're-
supports and who doesn't.
and technically school board is not affiliated with a party. So if you go in as a straight ticket, one way or the other,
it doesn't mean that you won't.
it doesn't pick
Yeah.
one of the because they're technically not with the party, but it kind of is right now. So you have to research a little bit because in the past I've never really thought about it that much, but with what's going on currently in the world, I have had to think about it a little bit more because it is literally my kids in school,
Yep.
and I have an opinion about it. So
The-
I voted, and I'm happy I voted.
Yay. It has real world consequences for you.
Correct. So in Little Gardens, do they not wear pajamas? She goes to bed in her
She goes to bed fully dressed,
ready for any
ready
type of
for
attack.
action. I mean, you didn't see Aragorn like put on fluffy PJs, did you?
Not even in the super extended versions
No.
where he's wearing the bunny slippers.
Yeah. No, you sleep in your gear so that if you get attacked in the middle of the night, you can jump up and fight.
This is true.
Soma's a pro.
That's right.
If we've established anything about Soma, it's that she's street smart and resourceful. She's way better at the damsel in distress routine than Luna is.
Mm-hmm.
She's a good actor. She's a good fighter.
So did anyone else dress up as anything cool for 90s Day?
Yes. You know Mike Ficarra?
Yeah.
He pointed out that in 1997 he was in first grade and rocking the gym jams. So he came in pajamas.
Nice.
And everyone else had varying degrees of ripped jeans and chokers and
Chokers.
yeah.
Love it.
Steve came in a corn t-shirt and baggy shorts. There was a lot of really cool 90s stuff going around. I saw someone dressed as Ash Ketchum from Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
It's very 90s.
That's pretty 90s. yeah.
Pokemon came out in the 90s. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. At least the very first one
Yeah.
was out by then, yeah. Like the Game Boy one.
Yeah. Yeah, the original Pokemon was on like black and white Game Boy. Like I remember the color version was like exciting.
Yeah. Like the one with Team Rocket and stuff was
Yeah.
yeah. That's
The
like
original
the
Team Rocket.
That's the OG.
Her little bat utility belt pouches.
Well, for, monsters.
Yeah. Always an important detail.
Shark repellent. You never know when a shark may
Mhm.
come right at you.
Goblord repellent.
Goblord. You mean Goblord?
Goblord. This page might have the highest percentage of Soma guns of any page in Little Guardians.
It is a gun show. It's a whole gun safe. It's an artillery show. It's a, what do they call that? I want to say armada, but that's ships, isn't
Oh,
it?
Arsenal.
Arsenal, thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue.
You know, like the soccer team.
Like a bunch of ships.
No, that's an armada. I'm sure armadas also have arsenals.
Yeah, armada's got to have guns or cannons, right?
Yeah.
So are you mostly on Photoshop at work?
Yeah, Photoshop and Illustrator a lot more these days. which I did not use Illustrator quite so much in my previous job, only for like logos and stuff. And now I actually have to do a lot of work in Vector because some of the things I design get cut out on CNC machines.
Oh.
So I have to set up designs with cut lines, and that's all done in. I do it in Illustrator and export it as a DXF file, and then that gets imported into SolidWorks, which is their, engineering program, and then that gets output for the machines.
Cool. Do you print them there, or does the company print them there?
Print? You mean?
Or like
cut stuff out and assemble? Yeah.
It's all done there.
Yeah. Picture it like a Hollywood effects studio. Like we build things out of wood, foam, 3D prints. We have a 3D printer bigger than your bathroom. It's like it can print a 6 foot tall figure.
Cool.
Yeah, it's badass.
That's really cool. Yeah, I was thinking about learning 3D printing a little bit because our library has one.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to get registered and certified to use it.
Yeah.
But
because then you return it not broken.
Well, no, it's at the library. It's there, and you schedule time with it.
Oh, okay.
So it's physically there, and I think
you don't have to move it.
Yeah, you pay for
filament.
The filament.
Yes.
And it's very inexpensive, but you have to. There's some online course as well as I think they have to show it to you or something.
All right. I think that's the inks.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Yay! Page 28's mostly done. I'll probably put in some background details.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Before I send it to Dan. But this is a good stopping point.
For sure.
For sure. Here's a little preview of the next... If anyone's still on the stream, I don't know if they are. Here's a little preview of the next page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which we sketched off camera. Boink. Done.
Very cool.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for joining us. That was fun. Do it again soon.